What's up, guys? Good morning. This is JC from Wrong to Strong. If you already know my story, hey, if not, make sure to read it on the Victorious Living magazine. You can find it online, or you can write to my P.O. box and I'll send you a copy. It is Tuesday, man. Tuesday, June. What is it? June 10th. Summertime is here. Yeah, just been getting a little bit more raw with my videos, a little bit more just not winging it, but just going into detail about subjects and stuff like that. Obviously, around my life, gangs, Chicago, prison, drug addiction, dysfunctional relationships, um, not knowing how to be a father. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but to be able to show now where I'm at from, because you go on my YouTube channel and go back 6 years and see just the way that I speak. Everything has changed. I've uh I've been able to shut down my flight and fight mode. I've been able to start to relax and learn how to live life. Um, yeah, I drink a lot of Starbucks now. I've gotten soft, I guess you know, but the need for safety. Why some kids turn to gangs. Uh, and I'm gonna share my personal story, my like how I felt as a kid, because obviously there's kids also that grow up with everything, but there's certain factors that are missing in their lives, and they end up being in gangs or stuff like that. And young people are very, what can I say? One, they're very unique. Everyone is very different. Every kid is different, but at the same time, they're all looking for the same thing. Safety, love, acceptance. People to talk them up, not talk them down. And I grew up in an environment where it was more talked down than talked up, and I guess they used to believe that kind of build us stronger and stuff like that, but no, it doesn't. And the thing with kids is that you could tell them all you want to your blue to do something, but if they don't see you doing it, they're not gonna do it. So I know what it's like to want to feel safe, to feel like you're part of something. I've been there. I was raised in an environment where the gangs around me were both family and enemies. I've had the streets turn on me, and a gang that once called me family put a hit on me. I've been alone in Mexico, in prison, no one to turn to. These moments, these experiences, they shaped who I am today. A lot of these kids out here are looking just to feel safe, to feel like they belong somewhere. For many, the streets are often that sense of security, even if it's built on violence, fear, and control. When you're out there on your own, or when the world feels like it's trying to break you down, sometimes it feels like the only way to survive is to join something. Gangs aren't just about drugs, violence, or crime. They're about protection. They're about having a crew that you can rely on, no matter how messed up the reliance is. But here's the thing. Joining a gang might make you feel safe for a while, but it comes at a cost. Your soul, your freedom, your life. Those are all on the line. And trust me, I've seen it firsthand. When I finally started to find discipline and structure in my life, I started to feel safe. I started to feel like I could take care of myself. Back in the day when I would come home, I felt scared. I felt unsafe. I felt just worried. And it should have been the other way around. I should have been excited about being out of prison. I should have been excited about life, all those things. And I believe that, as a kid and growing up in those environments, we mistake emotions sometimes with, sometimes it could be like you're excited about something, but in your head you feel fear because fear feels so much normal to you. And those are the things that, like, I had to, with time, learn to feel my emotions, even feeling safety, feeling like I had a home. There was this black box that had wheels that I used to like roll around with me all over the place. Whenever like I would get into a relationship, you would see that black box roll in with all my stuff. And when I would break up or I would mess up or whatever, I would put all my stuff in that little black box and I would roll out. It fit perfect in the back seat of my car. It was just like my pack and go bag, because that's how my whole life was. Even as a kid, I ran away a lot from my grandparents, from my dad's house, just because I didn't want to obey the rules that they were, setting for me. And I was I was already really wild. I was on a whole different emotionally. I was a wreck already. Too many of my friends had already been killed. Uh, I was convinced that my street family was my family. So I was looking for some kind of belonging, some kind of safety, some kind of crew. Um, and at the beginning, that's what it was. At the beginning, when we were all young, there was about I want to say about 20 of us. Some older than others, but when we were smaller, younger, I kind of felt like it was about us. Like we did care about each other. We did give each other safety. We did. A lot of people let me sleep at their house when I was a kid. I don't want to say names. You know who you are. Um, Even people that were mean to me, they still sometimes let me sleep at their house, fed me, gave me food. I uh I was one of the few that once I ran away, I had to like stay away because my door to my house would be closed. So, feeling that safety, and even when you go to prison, it's crazy because like I almost feel like you get programmed. Um like you get there and your gang receives you, and they give you your stuff, your shoes, everything, and you start to feel like safety again. You start to feel safe because through the transition of getting there, obviously you go through a lot of things and you see a lot of things. People getting beat up, people getting stabbed, and the whole transition. Transferring, safety, man, safety. And in prison, safety comes in numbers. The most violent. That's what it is, and you become part of them, so you learn to be like them, and it's not safety. It really isn't. um I've come to realize now that one of the biggest healing chapters of my life has been learning to feel safe and being alone, having a home, um getting back to that black box. I recently, and it's been almost 7 years that I got out. Recently, just threw it in the trash can, and I said no more having it because I always kept it there just in case. When I split up with Beth all 9 times, that black box came in handy. it was my, it got my things in and out fast, quick, and you know, couple of weeks, there's been some death in my, I want to say my street family, and my real family. Um, it hurts. It hurts to think on both sides. I grew up with both sides, so I can't always say I could detach myself completely because I still have a lot of friends that are doing time. They're never coming home. Uh, what's up, Big Dean? Chocolate. There's a lot of guys from that I grew up from. 59, even 25th. 26th Street. I knew a lot of people all over the place, and there's some that are never coming home. Um, and I feel that I have to this responsibility where I have to do this and share all everything that I learned through being in all those prisons. People don't realize I've been in over 25 prisons in the United States and in Mexico through transfer. I mean, you name it, through air, bus, van, boat. I guess the only one I don't have is train. Um, but it's a responsibility that that I owe them because they're the people that like spoke life into me while I was inside when I was still being a knucklehead. Like a lot of these dudes that later on I got to say, Cadillac Joe, Cadillac Joe from the North Side, Beach and Spalding. I did time with him when I was young, and I was in a state prison, Jacksonville, in Illinois, and he poured into me, man. He told me to get out there, change my life. I was still a knucklehead, I still went back lots of times, but remembering him and being able to say what's up to him after my life had changed, that was huge. Him finding me at that retirement home where he was on the north side. I mean, it was his nurse. Thank you. Um, but it's I know it's been all God happen making all these things happen because it's all part of the healing. It's all part of the learning. Um, I've come to realize that life is just one big old school. Um, you go to school to like learn tools to be better at things like math and stuff like that, but life, prison, rehab, streets, pain, just all that stuff makes you grow. I feel like you learn more on a bad day than you do on a good day. And I think that's been the biggest thing that now I appreciate the good days, because the bad are not that bad. Life life is funny. I say God is funny because he has to have a sense of humor. Because like we make all these plans and we think all these things, and at the end of the day, it's it's his will. It's what he wants. It's his plan. He's the one that's perfect. We're broken by default. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the studio. I'm grateful for my partner Ken. I'm grateful for uh, my kids. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for the mother of my children. I'm grateful for my victorious living team. I'm grateful for everybody that's been in my corner, everybody that's spoken life into me, everybody that's been there from the beginning. I I never thought that I had it figured out. I always knew that I needed help. I always knew that I wanted more. I always knew that I wanted more. I always knew that. I'll share a story with you guys. So when I was a Rough Rider, yeah, I used to ride bikes. Um, I was part of the Phoenix chapter. Rest in peace to Pinky, right there. Um, what's up to Tito, KB, Scorpio? I mean, you know who you are. Um, so when I was riding bikes, I was doing a lot of drugs. I was drinking a lot, and I got a lot of DUIs, a lot. Got one in Yuma, got one here, got one in Tucson. I mean, I think I've had a couple. I've had a couple. Um, they sent me to a DUI yard. It's the smallest prison I've ever been to. it's a they made a motel, a really small Motel 6 into a prison. They just put a fence around it. They covered up the pool with sand, and that was the track. And by far the smallest prison I've ever been to, where I had, you go there to do time. You would step out of your room and you'd be in the cafeteria. You step out the cafeteria, you'd be in the yard. You step out of the yard, and you'd be at commissary. It was just one little circle. But I did 6 months there, right? And I'm not gonna lie, like I was lazy. I was working in the kitchen. I shouldn't say lazy. Nah, I was had a job. I just wasn't doing nothing to better myself. I was just doing time, going to work and coming home, watching TV, eating, going back to work, working out, doing time. Doing time, not reading, not picking up a hobby, not disciplining myself in certain things. No, like I was just doing time. There's a right way and a wrong way to do time, guys. And one day I was like, you know what? Let me walk over to education. I think I was like two weeks to the door, and I went up to the lady, and she was like, "Oh, you're too close to the door. You won't make it. You don't have enough time to study. You don't pretty much." She almost I don't want to say she called me dumb, but that's what kind of like it felt like. And I was like, "Give me that book. Give me that book." And I walked into my room and sat down, and I studied that whole day. That whole day. And then the next day, the test was like one day before I got released, right? And I remember like walking through the yard and thinking to myself, okay, I have to pass this. Like I wanted to feel like smart. I wanted to feel, I don't know. It's something. It means something to people like me. So I took the test, and it was funny because I was on the yard just asking everybody questions, and that's the thing about me is that if I don't know something, um, I'll go ask somebody. Like not necessarily ask you to your face, but I'll figure it out. I'm a survivor. I went to the yard, man. I was just asking questions to everybody, and I remember someone I can't remember who, but someone on the yard told me I was really afraid about the thing that you have to write at the end, the essay, because my spelling has always been really horrible. My grammar bad. Like my reading and comprehension level are at a college degree, but my writing skills are probably like third grade level. Like yeah, math, forget about it. Never went to school. So man, I studied my butt off, man. Stupid fractions, just everything. And I remember that someone explained to me about the essay, about they don't care about the spelling or the grammar. They just care about how you set it up in the three paragraphs, the like what you were talking about, the like the thought or something, then like the ending. And once they explained that to me, I was like, "Oh, cool! I could run with that." And I did it. I spelled in really small words to try and get it right, and made the three paragraphs. And I remember going home and feeling like, "Oh man, I didn't probably didn't pass it." You know, my whole life I was always very insecure about myself, very unsure about myself, thought very low about myself, and it was for many things. There was many times in my life where studies were done on me and they proved everybody wrong, but I didn't believe it. Shout outs to my uncle Martin for doing that for me. Um, but I went home, and one of my guys that had done time with me there was so excited that he called me. I think it was like 2 days later. He called me from the prison. He was just excited that I had passed. And he was like, "Yeah, you passed, big dog," because he could see it in how determined I was, and he was like excited for me, even though he didn't pass. He didn't pass, but uh, he was excited for me, man. I got to meet some really good guys in there. Omar, I love you, big dog. I know you're out there doing your thing, man. I met some really good people in there throughout the whole, 17 years of me doing time, and yeah. When I got released from that prison, it was like a mess. They had to let me go. I had to walk to the border. I had the guys come and get me. My baby's mom at the time got arrested, pulled over. A whole like just crazy, crazy life. It seems so far time ago, but it's really not. I don't think people realize that we're not here for very long. You know, 75 years ain't too many years. So like, just think about it. If you spend those 75 in pain and discomfort, on feeling unsafe and fat, just in that flight and fight mode, you really never get to enjoy life and learn what it is to like live life. And I always say my biggest mentor has been God and Jesus Christ, because like I read and I watch these cartoons, and yeah, I have a kid's Bible, and I watch cartoons to learn. That's my thing, and I'm not embarrassed about it, because I feel like my heart as a child that I still have, I've been able to soak it more in about how to treat people, how to feel guilty when I don't treat people the right way, and I fix it. I apologize and I fix certain things in myself so I won't be like that. When when me and Bethany first got together, I was very controlling, very jealous, very just sick in the head. A lot of demons, a lot of bad thoughts, a lot of just lust, and I would take it out on her, and I had to learn, man. I had to learn to feel different stuff. I had felt really dark, bad stuff my whole life, and I had to learn love. I had to learn just everything. You guys have heard me say it before. Even the relationships that I've had with my pets now, it's like a gift from God, that I get to love on these animals, and they love me like no matter what, unconditional love. Um, Same thing with the friends and the people he's placed in my life. It's been hasn't been easy. Hasn't been easy. But one thing I have to say is that the kid in me today feels safe. And if I had to tell that 12-year-old JC something, I would tell him, "Hey, I know right now you feel like nobody knows who you are. Nobody sees you. You're hurt. Nobody knows how much you've already been through in that short amount of time. But let me tell you something, little man. Man, you're going to grow up and you're going to be a man with morals, a man that has love in his heart, that loves to serve, a kind man, an emotional man. A changed man. Just keep your head up. You're gonna make some really bad decisions, but it's okay. It's okay. You're not a bad person. You just had a lot of bad teachers in your life. But one thing I know is that I absolutely love you. Hurry up. Get your things in order. I'll be waiting for you. Don't worry. You're going to have those muscles just like you used to dream about when you were a kid and you were always working out. I love you, JC. You know, I would have never done this openly like this years back. I would have thought that it wasn't gangster, that it wasn't tough. I would have thought a lot of things. But today I realize how much this has healed me and the right people on the other end of the camera. The ones that need to hear this. The ones that are still out there, the ones that are still struggling, the ones that are, in that active addiction, whether it's the streets, money, women, sin, I mean, anything of that sort. It's going to take time. It's going to take time, and it's going to take training, and it's going to take a lot of tears and blood. But these tears and this blood is way worth it because you learn to have peace. You learn what true safety is. You learn what it is to have morals, to say no, to draw the line, to set boundaries, to be kind to yourself, even just in words. We want to sit there and tell our youth, oh, don't worry about it. You're young. You have nothing to worry about it. No, you're wrong. They have everything to worry about. They have their whole life ahead of them. So instead of telling them that, why don't you teach them something? Show them something. A hobby, a habit. Teach them. Build them. Love on them. Understand them. Just because they're not like you, no. I have a stepson that hates sports. But we love to do Legos together. I have a daughter that only plays with dolls. And guess what? I play with dolls. Don't try to change your kids. Don't teach them, show them with actions. My name's JC. I am Wrong to Strong. Hey, subscribe, share this with someone, leave a comment. There's going to be a lot of content coming out. Be on the lookout. It's not all about fitness, guys. It's about here, but it's about the heart. So if you're ready to change and you want that new lifestyle, that new habits, new discipline, sign up for my USP Max course. I'll leave the link below to you know what it is. Súbanse a la Suburban, because we're about to take a ride.